Hello and welcome. This video is the raw footage from my Twitch streams. I decided to make these available to anyone who wants to go back and watch the games from the beginning. If you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to join us on Sundays and Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. Pacific Time on Twitch at the link in the description. Thank you and enjoy!
Hello, hi and welcome. Hi Granny, hi 4G, hi Wave. Welcome in. It is Wednesday night and I am Storm's Melody. Um yes, I know. I sound like a news anchor from like the 1980s, 1990s. That's fine. I'm well aware of that and I'm fine with that. The weather up here is nice today. It's a little on the chilly side for me, but that means it is comfortable for everyone else. My hubbies and my daughters are gone for dance performance today. They actually have a performance instead of a practice, so good for them. Um, oh boy. My eldest is a handful. I had been planning on taking her to the library at some point in time this week to start teaching her how to um, research because teaching research doesn't seem to be something that they do these days. And it's never too early to start. And since she's interested in firefighting, we were going to go look into what the first local firehouse looked like and see if we could find any information on it. I've not gotten to the library yet. We have not gotten to the library because between being grounded to her room and this, that, and the other, it's Wednesday and we've just not had time. My hope is that tomorrow we can do so. Um, the house is in a reasonable ish shape. I've got the shoe caddy now on the wall so that the shoes aren't everywhere and are have a home. The kids seeing that for the first time was fun. My little hobbit was like, "Shoo, shoo, shoo." I was like, "Yes, the shoes have a home." And she's like, "Shoo, shoo." What she's trying to say is shoe home, but yeah. Hmm? It's you, Granny. Maybe you should restart your browser. I doubt you need to restart everything else, but you may need to clear your cache and restart your browser. There's a lot of. I know that clearing cache sounds ridiculous and that everybody rolls their eyes at it, but the reason it's one of the first things that a tech person will tell you is because it actually works. It's because cookies and such build up on your computer, and those things take up space in your memory and your RAM. And once you wipe them out, things run a lot better. I know it's ridiculous. I know it shouldn't happen. It does. From someone who's done tech support, just as annoying as it sounds, that that should be one of the first. If things go wrong, that's one of the first things you should do. Clear cache and restart. All right. Today we're in the library. We are just going to continue on where we left off. A fresh bit of zeros and ones. Yes, a fresh bit of zeros and ones. Um, Today's going to be kind of a laid back day. If you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the stream chat over practically anything. I have opinions on almost everything. All right. Um, So if you have any questions, want any information, or just have a comment randomly to make, please feel free to pop it in the chat. And in we go. Come tidy the library. No books in hand. Ooh. You logged out and logged back in and can see me now? Yeah. You probably didn't have to log completely out of your computer. In all honesty, just clearing your cache probably would have been enough. And restarting the browser. But like I said, you don't know how to do that. I will take care of that bit of knowledge later. That should be 10 books. It is. Organizational discipline, how small cracks lead to great ruin. Isn't that the truth? Hey Pika, welcome! I'm doing pretty well. It's being a day. Got some things done. Oh! Granny, you will be happy to know that the curses and plagues. I don't know where curses and plagues go. I know where potions go. The fairy garden you got me all those years ago is now being put to use. Many, many years ago, Granny Sue got me a fairy garden. Because we were talking about putting in a really extensive garden where we were living. We got some of it in, but didn't get all of it in. But we now have Sillyface and Kai. Sillyface and Kai are... They are, in fact, two trees that my daughter has named. One of them is Sillyface, one of them is Kai. Why they have those names? No, I don't know. They have those names. It doesn't go there? Where does it go then? Okay, fine. It's a language book that doesn't go in the language books. But yes. I can jump now. I forgot I was allowed to jump in the library. The Art of Hypnosis. Wouldn't that go in Illusions? It does. Anyway, my fairy garden is put in place. I'll take pictures of it and post it to my Discord and my Blue Sky so that everyone can see my fairy garden. It's so cute! And my little imp and my little hobbit are very, very happy with it. How to command the army of the undead. Living with monsters, a guide to cure and feeding. Well, I guess apparently... Music, music, music. Music is just a fancy form of math. Convince me otherwise. You just closed out Twitch and opened it again. Yeah, that's all you really needed to do. I'm trying to clear the bookshelves so that we can... Mornings and mornings. So there's space to put stuff on the bookshelves. If there's not space, you can't actually put things on the shelves. Shock and surprise. At one point in time, I worked doing as a data analyst. And they're like, where did you learn how to do all this? I'm like, I'm a classically trained opera singer. Of course I know how to analyze data. And they're like, but how does being a classically trained opera singer translate into data? And I'm like, you are joking, right? Music is nothing but patterns, one right after another. And music theory is nothing but the study of patterns. Of which I have spent numbers of years in music theory. It is not it is not my favorite subject in the world. One can only deal with I lost my train of thought. Well, that's unhelpful. Stream of consciousness talking, and all of a sudden the stream just kind of stops and redirects. Oh, hi, Spider. Speaking of. Well, that's not the world's biggest spider. Those are in Australia, and thankfully I'm not there, but... Okay. That was... How to command an army of the dead goes over here. Oh, I think... The Fae King and the Ice Queen is probably... fantasy. Although, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if it was... Aha! I've actually already got some out here. Shows how much attention I'm paying. I've only got 2 bookshelves full. Not bookshelves, 2... Ah! Just Control Command R. Matter creation. It's a book of spells, though. Where does that go? Oh. That is not where I thought it would be. But sure. Economics. Where's economics? Economics, economics, economics. Up there. Ah, missed. This is taking so long. Nope. Wrong bookshelf. Maybe this one? No. Even worse. Where does this book go? No, command is not the right arrow. I don't remember what command is, but I know it's not the right arrow. That's not it. Oh, I was a shelf over. That would be why. Here we go. Oh, it says mystery fiction. Ha ha ha. I should pay attention. Oh, it's a math book. So, I got a question. Why didn't they put the music section and the math section next to each other? That would make sense. Book of Spells. The spell books go over here. Man, I'm glad I'm not the one who inbuilt these bookshelves. Can you imagine the amount of time and work it would have taken? They're pretty though. See, if I were to live in my fantasy world, honestly, the bookcase I would own would be the one in Disney's Beauty and the Beast. That bookshelf is just gorgeous. And the floor to ceiling bookshelves and then the windows and everything else. Yeah, just give me that library and I would be in heaven. Hello, what? Oh, there's a key! No, that's not what I want. I want the key. Give me the key, key. We would never see you. Yes, you are correct. No one would ever see me if I had that library. I would be way too busy. There would be books to read. Romance novel, My Massive Golden Balls. Well, there's a title for you. I wonder if that's as bad as some of the romance novels my mom owns. That is one of the genres I never really got into. I don't understand it. I don't understand the love of it. And this is coming from someone who reads a lot of fanfiction, and not all of it is safe for work. But this seems like it should go here. Ha, I'm right. "100 Demons? What is this? The book on demons?" run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. There we go. Ha ha ha, my hands are empty for 2 seconds. Self and other. Oh, philosophy of self and other. Would I rather live in a giant bookstore or a library? That is really a Barnes and Noble or a library. Now, you see, the library could have more arcane books because the Barnes and Noble typically is pretty it is built towards the everyman, so it is going to be fairly bland in its collection of books. So there's going to be less really, really odd or unusual, and as we all know, I love the odd and unusual. But, that also being said, the Barnes & Noble does have one thing that the library does not, and that is a coffee shop. So yes, it would be a hard decision just because coffee shop. Okay, so that's got to be out here already. That being said, having arcane books available, weird, off-the-wall, old, is something that I would also love. I'm actually looking at, because I've got access to a really, really old library here. I'm looking at possibly going and borrowing their oldest book and reading it and posting it to YouTube as a full video. Yeah, the Barnes & Noble, as long as you're careful, you can still read the books. Oh, economics is over there. Why is economics on the other side from management? You would think they'd be next door to each other. Who designed this library's layout? I don't like it. Well, I mean, if I could live in one, it would definitely, and visit the other, it would definitely be living in the library. Libraries are just awesome. There's nothing better than a good library. I've spent hours in libraries. Absolute hours. To the point where the librarians knew my name and respected my opinion on books. One of the libraries I was regularly in, they rearranged everything and they were getting ready to move. And they put all of the comic books in the kids section. The problem with that is there are a lot of comics that do not belong in the kids section. But the librarians there were older and had the same mentality that a lot of the older generations have, in that comic books are for kids. What is this? Ooh! I've got a bigger book capacity now. Yay! A lot of libraries have a computer system, even if it's just for showing you where everything is. Yep, I wouldn't even need the computer system. I wouldn't care about that. I like being able to hold the books I read. I read a lot of fan fiction because it's free and cheap. But I love having a book to hold. Also, I'm not one of those people who enjoys a lot of audiobooks, mostly because I can read faster than most audiobooks will perform the piece. And for someone like me, that's annoying. Like, it's just straight up annoying trying to listen to someone else read the book when I could literally have finished it by the time they're halfway through. Now, free and cheap are contradictory. I guess. But that kind of just depends upon how you classify things. There's a lot of stuff that is determined by how you classify stuff. Actually, you know what? There's a whole bunch of these right here. I'm just gonna grab all of them. Well, there is a cost to reading fanfiction. You have to have a computer or a device to read the stuff on. And you have to have time. And knowledge of how to search, because it can get complicated depending upon what site you're on. Some of them are incredibly difficult to navigate. Others are incredibly simple to navigate. That depends upon the site. There's also invested interest, because you can start reading a fanfiction and it never gets finished. There's very little that is more heart-wrenching than finding an anime that is beautiful and amazing and realizing that it's been 5 years since its last update. which means your chances of ever actually seeing an update to it are beyond scant. There's one out there called The Mirror of Maybe. It's a Harry Potter fanfiction. And it is an absolutely amazing story. That being said, it hasn't updated in 10 years. It's never going to update again. And it's not done. I do occasionally go check on it just because it's such an amazing story that it not being finished is slightly painful to me. And I hope that someday maybe a miracle will occur. But oh, theory of everything, grasping beautiful theory through equations. Oh, math. There's other fanfictions that I've read that have ended, but the story itself was great and then the ending felt rushed. And this is a problem with you're going to find this problem with anything that is written. I mean, I read Aragorn. Aragorn's pretty good. The second book, Eldest, sucked. Like, I hated the way Aragorn ended. I nearly threw the book across the room. The ending pissed me off so much. And then Eldest just was a supreme disappointment. If you couldn't tell, I have opinions on books. I have lots of opinions on books. That's what happens when you spend most of your life as a reader. And yay! Everyone will be happy to know that my little hobbit and my little imp both have fallen in love with reading. So much so that there are days where I actually have to take the books out of their bed for them to go to sleep. Object alteration and reassembly. That should be here, I think. No. Memory transfer. Nope, no idea where that goes. Does anybody remember where the Demon Slayer one was? Right here. Process. Sublimating brain fragments into works. Because that's not creepy at all. Is it already up here somewhere? Oh, it is. I feel like I'm being inefficient about this somehow. Ha! This will get me another shelf. La-di-da! Yes. Oh, I still need another... Oh, I leveled up. I don't need to sort. A symbol. Yes, a symbol. That will make this so much easier. Well, slightly easier anyway. Music goes down here again. Actually, I love the spines of those books. Administrative of Magical Institutions. Oh, I was standing right over it. Is this transformation? Ah, got it. You know what? I have no idea where those books go. None. Let's pick up books that look reasonably the same. It's easy to see white books. These are over here, aren't they? The ones with the... No. They're not. Oh, they're up there. It's healing... I wonder which is easier. The healing practiced by us mundanes, or the healing practiced by mages. I mean, for me it doesn't matter either way. I wouldn't have the stomach for it. There's a reason I'm an actor. The one thing I do... Oh, that's holy magic. That's why I can't find it. Sacred barriers, philosophy of self and other. I've only ever been an extra. I would love to actually be the main character. Oh, I guess technically here I am the main character. Seeing as here I'm the only character. But to be on a grand stage performing and acting and getting to pretend to be someone I'm not. Foundations of Metaphysics. I think if I got my way, I would spend my days performing things like the Pirates of Penzance and the Mikado. Musicals. I would spend my time performing musicals. Actually, the same composer wrote my favorite musical and was the librettist for my least favorite musical. And that is... Oh my god! Seriously, my brain just blanked. I don't... Seriously, my brain has completely short-circuited. It's the dude who wrote Into the Woods, which, amazing musical. Do not go see the Disney version. The Disney movie ruined it. But it by itself is amazing. The way it's originally written. So the problem with the Disney version is that it is a... It is a story that on the surface looks like it should be fine turning into a Disney movie, and once you actually get into it, really should never have come anywhere near a Disney movie. Because there's things in there that just Disney won't put into a movie. Ethics up there. But if you ever get the opportunity to go see the stage play, highly recommend go see Into the Woods. It's amazing. My least favorite. Least favorite would be... And I know this is going to piss people off. I really, 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 really hate West Side Story. Of all the musicals ever done, it just... There's something about that one I just do not like. I don't know if it's the fact that I've had to watch it so many times. I don't know. I really don't know. But there's something about that particular musical that I really just, at this point in my life, hate. Surely the foundations of metaphysics go here somewhere. There it is. then these are over here in the weird magic spot. I'm coming over here for a reason, except I'm way too early. Minor repairs, practical magic. Daily dungeon notes of a party chronicler. Now there's a job for you. It's not a job I would want, but it is a job. Books of spells. Can I please have all the books of spells, please? Yay! And that gets me another shelf. Cheating. This assembling the books so that I don't have to. Oh, nearly missed a book of spells. Another book of spells. Different breed of spell work, but oh, I have finally reached the end of what I can carry. Oh, nope. Practical everyday magic. I wonder if this is where they store the knowledge on how to pack your bags using just a song. Again, my favorite piece of magic in film anywhere. Ice, fire, thunder. Where's the fire? Don't have it up yet. Great. Okay. Oh, because that one's already got a place. It is really hard to get into this corner. Anybody see any white books? They could have made this really easy and put the ones with the white books next to each other instead of in 3 different portions of the library. 4 different portions of the library. Advanced healing. Book of spells. So I've picked up an app called Webtoons, and I picked it up a year or so ago. And I have been finishing off a series that I started when I picked it up called The Greatest Estate Developer. And it's an isekai. Isekais are very popular right now, as we all know. It's probably the most popular genre because, well, nobody really wants to be living here right now, so... I'll dream about being someplace else. Just let's be honest, it's one of the reasons why I like being an actress. But in this one, our character gets isekai'd into a truly horrific he wakes up as the person he's reincarnated into is actually a pretty horrific person. And he cleans up his act and goes on to save the world. I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It's a really good read. Does that go up here? It does. Sheesh, this corner needs more light. Is that one of the buffs I can get? Is more light? Oh, I wasted a... No! What a waste. Because I actually already have all the other books, instead of just nulling out, what it does instead is it uses it and then it doesn't actually do anything. So now I have to wait for it to rebuild its potential. That is sad. Hey, looky, imaginary number theory. Something I always terrible at. But let's be honest, I'm not. Math is not my strong suit. I barely survived math. Barely. In fact, the two classes on my college transcript that finished with D and C's were math courses. Everything else I at least finished. Mana equivalents. Math, math, math. Ooh, does that mean I'm going to complete another row? It does. Ha 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 ha. I like this one. It pulls the books for me. Oh, more math. We're back to the imaginary number thing. Which I was sort of ignoring because imaginary numbers. If you ignore imaginary numbers, do they just go away? I know, I know. It doesn't actually work that way. I wish it did. If ignoring things made things go away, that would be make everybody's life not necessarily easier, because that could lead to some significant problems, but we could all dream, right? I'm just looking for books of spells right now. Why is it so hard to find anything here? Oh yeah, because of a fairy. The ultimate guide to otherworldly swear words. Hee hee hee. That sounds about right. Why else would you need a guide to... Yeah, I've been trying to learn several languages over the years, and I'm going to be completely honest, I am terrible at it. But Pimsleur does to each set differently, and it's really interesting to watch what they put an emphasis on. For the Japanese, it's all about apologies. The entire thing is how to apologize, which makes complete sense. For the German section, it teaches you how to pick up girls at a bar. Well, women at a bar. As if that's not creepy. Okay, where does this go? Oh, that's what I thought of. Never doing what I tell it to do. Some water. Oh! On a happy note for the channel, we actually managed to break 7 average viewers on Sunday night. That's a first. I've had more viewers than 7 people. Like, it's not uncommon occasionally for me to spike upwards of 10, but I actually got 7 average, which means I kept my numbers up over the course of the entire stream. I can't say the same thing about today. It's not going as well. But it's honestly not surprising. This particular game is fairly niche, and as we can all tell from the amount of time I'm talking, this game is in fact more fun to play than it is to watch others play. And while this game is designed to be repeatable, I'm going to finish playing it once for us on the stream and then probably not ever play it on the stream again. Just so you guys can see the ending though. So. And then on I could have sworn forced creation was there. It is. I'm going to do a stream on Saturday. The stream on Saturday is going to be for the new Palworld launch. Yes, we've been playing Palworld, but they are launching into a full game. And are supposedly changing some of the mechanics. So, we will be starting a brand new area. If you want to join, now would be a good time to do so. You get your own copy of the game and then you can join in. The stream time is going to be from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And yes, I am going to start emphasizing what time it is, just because where I am doesn't switch between daylight and standard time anymore. So, daylight time. And we will be playing a brand new Palworld, everyone. Well, I say a brand new Palworld. We'll be playing a new instance of Palworld. Starting over from the very beginning. Hello. There's a book of spells that I missed. I thought these were the exact wrong books. I thought I was pulling alchemy books. Masters of Creation. Ah. Yeah. Having this pull the books for you makes things a lot easier. Ah! You can't walk that way. Noted. I did not like that. Household magic. So Cassandra was wandering around today. Pretending to be a robot, and I'm like, you look like Rosie the robot. She gave me a question mark look. She's like, what's that? I've had to do a lot of explaining of things. Oh, magic to speak and convey goes here too? Okay. That's okay, she has to explain a lot of things to me. I don't. I do not understand some of the kids series that are out these days. Actually, I'm more likely to let the Imp and the Hobbit watch things that are from my time period than I am to let them watch things from today's stuff. You say that, but it's incredibly hard to actually find the old the old Hanna-Barbera stuff. I keep looking, but some of it is hard to find. Whoever's got it really has it locked down tight. It is mildly annoying. I can nearly pick up the whole series now. Because I would like to show them the Jetsons. I'd like to show them the Flintstones. I did find some place to finally show her Princess Guinevere and the Jewel Riders, which is a show that I was beginning to think that I had hallucinated. Because nobody had heard of it, and I couldn't find anybody else who'd watched it, and everything, and then recently I came across it online again. I was very happy to have found it because seriously. Now, I do enjoy Puffin Rock and Octonauts, and Word Party. Those are ones that have come about since I was a kid that I do find to be really good. And not terribly annoying. Because that's the other thing. I swear the cartoons these days are just designed to grate on the parents' nerves. I cannot think of any other reason for some of these cartoons to exist. I know, I'm probably blowing things out of proportions, but... And I'm not gonna say there weren't just fluff pieces when I was a kid. I remember Big Rock Candy Mountain. Which had very little redeeming value at all. Other than to be fun. I will say, I am happy that my daughters enjoy Scooby-Doo. I would be very sad if Scooby-Doo wasn't one that we watched regularly. Because it's just too good to... Illusionary magic should be here. I can now practically pick up entire rows. Oh no, these are summon books. Where do summons go? There. Oh. Alright, now I need something that will either sort them on the shelf or in my hand. Because being able to pull them all is great. Having to sort them onto the shelf sucks. Automatically arranges the books in numerical order. Highlight the correct book. Or auto shelving. Ooh. Crystal Tome, Practical Scrying, and Clairvoyance. That should be over here. Ha! Now if I could just find those other keys. That would be nice. So what was everybody's favorite old cartoon? I was always fond of the Jetsons or Scooby-Doo. Sort. Roadrunner? Oh yeah, Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. Oh, if we're talking about things like that, I loved Animaniacs too. I spent a lot of time watching Animaniacs. Wait, it didn't pull the last book. Why did it not pull the last book? I guess it's buried. I didn't know that if it was buried, you couldn't pull it. That's terrible. No. Roadrunner cartoons and all Disney. Yeah. I have shown the girls the old Goofy cartoons. The How to Do Things ones. Those are great. My daughters think they're stupid. They prefer Donald Duck and Chip and Dale for some reason. I've also shown them DuckTales, which my eldest is absolutely in love with. If anybody has seen the new DuckTales, I apologize. I'm sorry. Which makes me sad because, like, it's like, this is gonna be great. They've got David Tennant as Scrooge McDuck. It's gonna be phenomenal. No. Good voice acting cannot make up for terrible writing. Which made me sad. Ooh, did anyone else ever watch Darkwing Duck? DuckTales' version of Batman. With far more ridiculous enemies. If you haven't had the opportunity, I highly, highly recommend going and looking up DuckTales. We actually got some figures for it into our store recently, which was kind of a surprise because DuckTales in and of itself is, or Darkwing Duck is old at this point. This is back from when I'm a child. Oops. Accidentally recalled the book. Speaking of Roadrunner, did you know that in the first Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote book show, the Wile E. Coyote also was not affected by physics. That was something that did not happen until the first episode when he read a physics book. Because that's just it. Everybody thinks the Wile E. Coyote was incredibly stupid, and it's not that he was incredibly stupid. It's that he was incredibly smart. He was too smart for the world he was in. And so it ended up chewing him up and spitting him out. Or running him over repeatedly. I don't know where this book goes. Oh, there it is. This is now going a lot faster. Ah. I think next time we get the shelving magic. Everyone's dwarvish. At one point in time, I attempted to learn Quenya. I tried. Hard. Unfortunately, again, I'm not great with languages, so it didn't go as well as I would like. For those of you who don't know, Quenya is, in fact, Tolkien's most complete language. There's several mentioned, but the others are incomplete. There's 3 different Elvish languages alone, and only Quenya is to a reasonably passable level of being a complete language. Alright. It'll now shelve books for me. Oh, I like that! I like that a lot. Unfortunately, it seems to have quite the cooldown time. So that's mildly disappointing. Oh. Visual imitation doesn't go in the... Alright. So apparently this goes in the transformation and not the illusionary. Got it. Whatever. That seems like something that should go into illusionary. No, that is not what I wanted to do. So, what is everybody's favorite band? Mine is... either the Chieftains or Flogging Molly. It kind of depends upon the day. Yes, I spend a lot of time listening to Celtic music. I love Celtic music. It is one of the reasons why I spent a great deal of time singing it. Theory and practice of hero summoning from another world. Hey, looky! It's half the Isekai tome. Beatles? Yeah, Beatles are a classic. I am going to piss off a lot of people. I don't overly like the Beatles. I mean, yeah, I know, classics, but I don't hate their music. Don't get me wrong. They're passable. It's not... I do not understand the fervor people have over the Beatles. But I guess a part of that is I'm more likely to have that level of fervor over a author than I am of a musician anyway. I have not met any music that drives me that way, which is honestly somewhat strange with how much I love singing, but you did not understand the hysteria in 1963 and developed a liking for them much later. Fair. Our tastes in music and everything else change as we get older. At one point in time, I spent a lot of time listening to 3 Days Grace and Green Day. I don't anymore. Not because they're not good. They absolutely are. It's just not where I am in my music right now. Ah, my shelving magic ran out. Is it cheating to just pull the easiest ones? John Denver, Neil Diamond, Simon and Garfunkel. It's not cheating. I'm glad someone thinks that way. I was talking with someone one time and they're like, I miss the old music. I really miss things like John Denver when artists weren't political at all. And I'm like, are you absolutely kidding me? You said John Denver and then not political activist. That man was an eco-activist from day one. Not to mention Peter, Paul, and Mary, and most of the others. Like, the music from that time frame is just full of political activism. But for you to specifically state that artist and then make that statement, it took everything I had not to lose it. The only other time I've come that close to just wanting to read someone the Riot Act and not being able to was someone at work. They insisted that they read classic sci-fi, and I'm like, oh, so what do you think of Heinlein and Asimov? They didn't know who I was talking about. They were talking about people like Niven, which are slightly newer. I mean, they are at this point classic sci-fi, but it's not. Yeah. Not knowing who these people are was just made me sad. Like, you cannot claim to read classic sci-fi and then not know who at least Isaac Asimov is. Heinlein, fine. But Asimov, iRobot, which is so pervasive even in our current society? Like, how did you get away with that? Which, if you haven't actually gone and read iRobot and only watched the movie, I highly recommend going and reading iRobot. Classic sci-fi, Jules Verne and H.G. Wells. Yes, those two are also classic sci-fi. I have also read Jules Verne and H.G. Wells. I enjoyed The Time Machine a great deal. And then, of course, there is the fact that the original science fiction was written by a woman. Frankenstein. Mary Shelley. which is one of the few monster books I've read. I don't tend to enjoy horror or monster books. It's just, I don't enjoy horror to begin with. I prefer, if I am going to do horror, it needs to be psychological horror and not the whole blood, guts, and gore. So I'm stupidly particular about it. And so I just don't bother to read it most of the time. Trying to figure out whether it's worth my time or not is typically not something I'd rather do. I'd rather read stuff that I know I'm going to enjoy. Like Piers Anthony or Jules Verne or Agatha Christie. I love a good Agatha Christie novel. That being said, I prefer Hercule Poirot to Miss Marple, but both are good. Oh, these do not go here. Oh, I guess I've already got one on here somewhere. Right there. That's why they didn't go there. No, I'm not gonna make it in time. Ha! I did! One, two, three, four. Oh, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. Something had gotten into the wrong spot. Gotta love it when that happens. Should be over here. Ha ha ha! I remembered correctly. Ah! I think these go over here. They do. Warrior's Creed. So, I have done Renaissance festivals and other things, and I'm an improv actor, lane actor. One time, the character I was playing was an assassin. And this dude walks by me wearing an Assassin's Creed t-shirt. And I looked at him and I was like, "Sir, you may be part of the Brotherhood, but you're not supposed to announce it to everyone." He gives me the most clueless look and his girlfriend falls over laughing. Because he doesn't realize what I'm talking about. She, on the other hand, who's been looking at this shirt all day, got it. And then had to explain it to him. He was unamused. Which is a pity. I thought it was funny. Sometimes people just really need to gain a sense of humor. Where does this go? Okay. And I say that knowing that people have said that about me personally from time to time. I have been the stick in the mud before. As much as it pains me to admit that. Too slow. I wish I could jump just a little higher. Wouldn't take much. Just a little. Oh, wrong button. Conflict protocols for guilds. My guess is that should go in management. Yep, that goes in management. Where else would conflict protocols go? Transformation is here. Grand Compendium of Healing Magic. Living with Monsters, A Guide to Care and Training. There's got to be one on here already. There's not? What am I missing? Oh, there it is. That's what I'm missing. So how many of you guys, when you're traveling to other cities, big cities, take time to just go visit the city library? Just to see the city library. I've actually done that a couple times. I irritated some people. They're like, we're gonna go to the mall. And I'm like, you guys go to the mall. Have fun at the mall. I am gonna go to the library. Did that in Chicago. Chicago's got an amazing library. Did that in New York. They've also got an amazing library. Did it in Phoenix, Arizona. Also an amazing library. Chicago's library even actually has a greenhouse on its roof. That was fun. They've got a really pretty copy of 1001 Arabian Nights, too. You've not done that? It's a pity. I highly recommend. When you're in a new city, just checking out the libraries. Especially the big libraries. Like, I'm not talking about your small, tiny... I'm talking you want your downtown libraries. Not saying a small city library can't be interesting. I'm just... Like, take the downtown Fort Worth library in Texas, and it's got beautiful murals all over the library. And the thing is I don't think I have a favorite library. Even with all the ones I've been to. It's just not something I ever really thought about having a favorite of. Like, favorite fantasy, yeah, we've already discussed that, but just a straight up favorite library. Of course this one goes in the economics. Where else would it go? If I'd used my brain, I might have realized that. This is the problem with having access to magic. Sometimes you stop thinking. And just rely on the magic. I don't know where this one goes, so we are gonna ditch all those. Your favorite library is whichever one you're in. You know? Absolutely fair. That is completely fair. I've even managed to make it to our local library fairly recently. We're actually really lucky. The ones we have here, the sections are actually designed for the kids, are designed somewhat away from the adult area, or placed in such a way that it'll be less disturbing to the adult area. And so the kids can actually play. Which is nice. Because I always hated as a kid, like, being stuck being quiet. Is this not the summoning shelf? Does this not go on this? Oh, it goes up there. That's why. But the ones here, they've got little puppet theaters, and they've got some of them have like little book nook areas where you can curl up and read that look like tree houses. One of them has a pretend flower garden. So yeah. Did I level up and didn't notice? I did! Labor studies, even with magic, overtime never ends. That sounds miserable, actually. Although right now, I would be happy if my husband just had a job. Screw overtime. Yeah, any good vibes anybody could send this way, or talk with whatever deity rules their life about sending help our direction. We would greatly appreciate it. The big problem we're having right now is even on the stuff that he's gotten interviews for, they've been ghosting him, or it's just taking so long that it's leaving us hanging. Well, that was a waste of that. Come on, come on. Let me get this one too. Yes! This is coming along nicely. So we started out the day with 2 rows completed. And now we've got 110 of 400. So we're more than a quarter done, guys. History of demonic financial hegemony. Ooh. That sounds riveting. So if you had to do a research project tomorrow, what are you going to do your research project on? Mine would be... probably... Actually, I don't know. If I could research anything I wanted, what would I research? Oh, that's not it. Wrong side. My daughter, The Scarlet Pimpernel, and why it might be one of the first romance novels. Aye. That could be an interesting topic. I actually think I might go back to one of the topics that I studied when I was a kid. I have always loved space. And there's several nebula out there that I would love to actually know more about. The Scarlet Pimpernel is... I know it's considered one of the classics. It's not one I have read. But I do know of its existence. I even think I know what it's about. The reason I know of that book is honestly an old TV show from when I was a kid called Wishbone. Um, if you guys have never watched Wishbone, I highly, highly recommend. Um, Wishbone was always great. Nothing better than a dog reading books. I was introduced to a lot of classics that way. I've since read several of them, but not all of them. But yeah, The Count of Monte Cristo, The Scarlet Pimpernel, and then they also did several of Shakespeare's stories. Even Romeo and Juliet, which is my least favorite Shakespeare. No, second least favorite Shakespeare. My absolute least favorite Shakespeare definitely is Midsummer Night Dream. And that's thanks to a pretty creepy version of it that I saw. And then, of course, my high school English teacher was all about the classics, so Raisin in the Sun, Catcher in the Rye, Grapes of Wrath, Of Mice and Men. Yeah. The Invisible Man. Liked some of them, didn't like others. But I guess that's to be expected. Nobody has the same taste in books. Although what we grew up with can absolutely at least have a an effect on what we read. Like, my mom reads a ton of dime store romance novels. I honestly do not understand her enjoyment of them or love of them. But she loves reading, and she loves reading them. My dad, on the other hand, is really into nonfiction. And the more about boats, the better. So the end result is I know a lot about boats that I had no prominent interest in myself. But on the plus side, whenever we needed to do a research project at my house, I could pretty well be guaranteed to find at least something in my house to act as a reference. So if I couldn't make it to the library or whatever, I could at least do the basics at my house. We also had at least 2 encyclopedias. Last of the Mohicans is a classic, but you prefer The Spy. Yeah, there's several like that. Whereas a lot of people really enjoy Jurassic Park, which great. It's a decent novel. Um, my personal preference is, in fact, Andromeda Strain. If you've not read it, highly recommend. Great book. Illusions should go here. Law books. All the law books. These are art books, so they should go here. Oh! Look at the time. I got lost in the books. Let's finish this last shelf. Or this last set of shelves. Can we get this case done? Almost, 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 almost. Yes, it failed to auto shelf because there's nothing in my hands. It can't auto shelf if there's nothing there. Woohoo! One shelf done, guys. One entire case complete. That is where we are going to leave it tonight. I hope you all have had fun. We're going to do this one more day, probably not this week or next week. It may be a couple weeks from now. But I think we got about one more day of this to do, and then we'll have this library completely tidied and looking spick and span, and that will be nice. Yeah. So today is Wednesday, which means tomorrow is Thursday. There will be stream tomorrow night as well. Tomorrow will be Genshin Impact. We are again working to get closer and closer towards Fontaine. We are still, I believe, finishing out the quests for the Balladeer, but we're getting closer, a lot closer. And then of course there is the bonus stream on Saturday from starting at around 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Then on Sunday there will be another stream at 9:30 p.m. I hope to see you guys all here tomorrow for Genshin, and have a great day. Toodles!